are going to go over the Carnival event game, which is up here. First of all, during this event, if I coughing or something, I'm sorry. I'm just getting over a really bad cold. Although I'm feeling a lot better now. So if I cough, I'm sorry. Okay, now, first thing I want to do before I go to the Carnival one is go to the bag. Because the Carnival event, the best thing I can tell you for a strategy for how to play this game has to do with the bag. If I go to my bag and go to my second page right here, I have 5 written cards. These cards give me 10 points for each card. So if I were to use this whole stack right here, I get 50 points. Now if I go over one, I have 16 magic runes. If I use this, I get 16 draws from the hat. You get 3 free draws every day from the first hat, which I'm going to talk about the hats in just a moment. Anyway, I just used these the other day. I've been saving these forever, like for 3 months or something. I think since the very first Carnival, I'd never spent a single hat draw or point card. So when I cashed these in, I got over 500 points and I cashed these gold ones in. I got 500 points for the cards. 500 points rather. Then I got, when I cashed these in, I got cards, and I think it was 300 draws. I had 300. So for this event and for any event that you get free draws, free cards, the best thing I can tell you for a strategy is to save them. However, if you look over here, I have 5 Decoron cards. Those were not saved. That was given to me at a later date by the game after the event was over, because I'm not sure the Decoron is going to be coming back around. It might be. Maybe I'll use those cards, but I didn't save those on purpose. But if I look at some of these other things, like I have 76 luck card draws for the Lucky Strike game. I've been saving those for, I don't know when Lucky Strike first came out, about a month ago or so, but I've never spent a single lucky card since I've gotten any. So I have 76 right now. I would say anything you get, save it. For events, save the cards, save the scroll, wherever they are, save them until you can get something good. Because if you just use what they give you each day, you're not going to get much. But if you save them, like when I saved this and I got 300 draws from the hat all at once, that was pretty cool. And when I saved these and I got 500 points all in one day, that was pretty cool. If you do save these things, that's the most important thing. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and close that out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open this, the Carnival event. The order I do this, the first thing is the hat that we're gonna talk about are the hats. The very first hat you get, like I said, down here where it says need 10 gold. That is every day you get 3 free draws. So that instead of saying need 10 gold, it says I think it says 3 or something. I think it says 3 free draws, or I don't know. But it's free for the first 3 times. And that's all I ever do. So most of the time, I only draw from the hat 3 times and I'm done for the day. I wait until I get cards I need, which we're going to talk about how to get cards. But the draws from this hat they're not too great. They're random, but the good cards, you're either not going to get them or you're not going to get them very often. So I had 300 draws from this hat in one day, which is actually cool. But I think of those 300, I didn't get that many good cards. I got like 2 or 3 good cards out of 300. This one, I call this middle hat the Beast hat. It costs 30 gold. To use. I only know that because I've used this one time. I think it was the first time this game was on. I used this middle hat and found out, oh geez, that cost me gold when I do that. In this last hat, I'm sorry, the middle hat, I call this the Beast hat. I can pretty much get, it's like this cheap one, but it has more beast in it than anything else. So every once in a while you could get a really cheap crummy card, but usually you're going to get beasts from the middle hat. This last hat, the mystery hat, is the good one, but it costs 100 gold to use. But you usually get, I call this the goddess hat. you usually get goddesses out of this. Those are the better cards. I've never used this. I only know this from a website that this costs 100 gold every time you use this. But 100 gold for one draw of the hat, that's quite a bit just to push that button once. So I draw my cards. The first thing I do is draw my free cards. Then I go to up here. I'm going to go across this way. Up here, go to the card shop. The next thing I do is I go in order to see what I want. Usually the top, I think the top are probably the strongest of all. The best thing you can get from this game, I'm guessing, is going to be Gabriel, and he's a red hero. But the thing, I look over here at the cards I need. Odin, very, very hard to get. I believe you get Odin from an event in the events icon to redeem, but you have to spend, I think you have to spend hundreds of dollars just to get an Odin card. So if it has Odin, I pretty much ignore it. Michael, also not a cheap card. You have to spend, I'm guessing, hundreds of gold to get a Michael card. Also not a cheap card. I'm going to talk about how to get a Michael card in the rankings. Well, Michael is also not cheap. Then the Mirai card also costs money, which I have actually bought once, but it's actually pretty cheap. I think I bought it for $3, $5, something. Whatever is 100 gold. I bought it, and it gives you 100 gold for $5 for a recharge. And I bought the Mirai card, but that's because I really wanted something. I thought $5 is pretty reasonable, and I've been thinking about it for 3 months, so I was prepared to spend that $5. But some people I know don't want to spend anything. So if you see any of these 3 cards, you probably want to just ignore over here when you're going through the list. You want to ignore anything that has Odin, Michael, or Mirai. Even though Mirai is cheap, maybe you want to spend 0. Then there's Helen, which is a goddess. She's a good card, one of the better cards that you can get, but you don't have to purchase her. It's just going to be very, very rare. So I scroll down. Okay, Michael, I need a Michael card, Mirai card. So I keep scrolling. All these require one of those cards to buy. If I go down, if I scroll down to the bottom of the list, the first one that doesn't is this orange starstone bag. And I think to myself, geez, would I like an orange starstone? Yeah, I like orange starstones. Actually, if you look down here, it says I can get up to 2 of these during the game. I've already used both. I've gotten 2 orange starstones this game. Excuse me. So, I look at the cost, and I have Danielle, that I need 1 of her, 2 colored alpacas, which is a beast, and so I need 1 goddess. That's probably the most expensive of all the cards. Then the colored alpaca, not cheap, but not real expensive. That's 2. I'm going to talk about the points. When I say expensive, I don't mean money out of your pocket. I just mean points that you get in the game. I'll show you how to get those points. Then I need 3 Jester Cat beasts. That is actually a little more expensive beast. Then I need 3 Fire Fury Dragon Lords. That is the cheapest of all the beasts. I'm going to talk about all those, how to get those in just a second. So I look down through this and I go, okay, orange starstone. Maybe you want something else. Maybe you want skill tomes. So you go over here and you look. Geez, here's the skill tomes. And these are the cards I need to get the skill tome. When I look down here, I can get 10 skill tomes during the game. And if I hold the cursor over it, it'll highlight it, and I read down here where it says details. I get 1 skill tome. But as you can see down here, like for silk crystals, maybe you really want silk crystals. If I hold the cursor over here, but it does tell me I get 20 silk crystals for doing this one. But it's a little more expensive. Maybe you want, where's that? The lucky orb for the mount. Maybe you want more of that. I can get 10 of those, and I get, oh, that is the mount, or I was thinking the wrong thing. I hold the cursor over that, I get 10 mount orbs, and I can get a total for 1 shot, and I can do it 10 times. So I can get a total of 100 mount orbs if because 10 times 10 if I get all these cards. So I scroll on here, and the very last one is the drill. The drill is the cheapest thing on here. So maybe you've been saving your cards like I told you to do, and you want to get something that's a little more expensive. Maybe you want to get the orange Starstone bag. So if I go to the drill, click on the drill, I need these things, and they're actually pretty cheap. This is a hero. Heroes are the cheapest. So this hero is one. This hero is another one. Let's see. Then Tiffany. See how Tiffany is lit up and the other three aren't? That means I own Tiffany. Then Graham. I also need one of him. So I look at this. Let's talk about the drill. I own Tiffany. So if I go over up here, if I go to my cards, see Tiffany is there. I own her. So I have 0 points. If I were to sell her, if I click on this little plus to sell, if I sell her, now it becomes a 3. I get 3 points. You'll see how much you get in this little red teardrop right here. This number tells you how much you get. Go back. I love that it saves. I was on the drill, and when I go back, it's still on the drill. But I look at how much I can get. So here we got Virus, Chet, Graham. So let's go ahead and remember those names. It's Virus, Chet, and Graham. I'm going to go over to exchange cards. And find Virus costs 10. That's how much it costs right there, that 10. So Virus costs 10. Chet cost 8. So now I'm 18. And what was the third one? Graham, I think, was 7. So I'm at 25. So if I go back to the card shop, the drill, to get Virus, Chet, and Graham, it would cost me another 25 points. So this is the first thing I do. Then I go to my cards, and I look at all. I don't want to get rid of Tiffany because I need her. But if I had other cards, I don't. But if I had other cards, they show up here. And I look at I want to sell the other cards. It'll tell me how many points I get to sell them. And then I hit card points. To sell them, I need a total of 25 points. Then when I come back here to the card shop, I can do an exchange, and I can buy that drill. And all of a sudden, that drill is going to show up in my bag. Then I go over, but like I said, I went over to this exchange thing, look at this list. And let's say I want to just look at beasts. I go down here and click beasts, and it will show the beasts. As like I told you before, Jester Cat is the most expensive of the beasts at 50. Fire Fury is the cheapest beast at 20. But then I want to look at goddesses. I told you goddesses were more expensive. They're the most expensive of the 3. There's heroes, beasts, and goddesses. If I click on goddesses, that one I was looking at needed Danielle. One Danielle cost 130. But you can get expensive. There was some other things I was looking at that I got that cost 500 points for. I need 3 Goddesias, and they're 500 piece. So I needed 1,500 points just for her. But I happened to get lucky in the hat draw and just got her for free. But that is very rare. Okay, now let's go over and talk about the rankings. Overall ranking. Very first thing. I had saved my cards up, like I had told you. I had saved my cards up from the very beginning of the game. And so I spent them all the other day, and I got 3,000 points on the very first day of the game. That is kind of unheard of for me. Normally my points, if I go to daily, the points I have today, say I only have 30 points a day. Normally, I'm always at 30 points. I take the 3 free draws they give me. Each draw is 10 points. I take the 3 free they give me, so I get 30 points. And that's usually all I get. On the last day of the carnival, I usually try to buy something. So I might get 100, 200 points on the very last day because I may have got something. I don't know. But I'd have to use some draws. I usually never use any draws, so except for the free ones, I only get 30 points. You should go to the ranking tab and go to yesterday's ranking. This will be lit. If you got 500 points or more, this will be lit, and you can hit collect. and collect your prize from the day before. But you're probably not going to get 500 points unless you're either spending a bunch of cards that you'd save for a long time, or you spend a lot of money. So, like you see my name right there, Ashimon. I got 530 points yesterday, and I got the day before I had 3,000 points because I had spent all those cards that day. And this day, I don't know. I think what it was is, let me close this. I think if I go back to the bag, I think what it was is on the first day I'd use this, which gave me 300 hat draws. I'd saved these until I had 300, and so I had 300 hat draws. But I didn't know I had these, and then later I was like, oh, I have like 49 of these cards saved. So I spent those, and I got 490 points. And that's where that 5 with the free draws, and probably got another one of these that day. That's where the 530 points came from the second day. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the carnival just to show you one more thing. So just to recap, the first thing I do is pick the hat. I almost always, except for always except for the very first day when I did this middle hat once and realized it cost me 30 gold. I just use the 3 free draws in this hat. Then I go to the card shop and I choose which one I want. Then I go to my cards and I look at what I can sell of all the cards I have to get what I want. Then I go over here to exchange cards and I pick the cards that I want to buy. Then I go to rankings and make sure that I go to yesterday's rankings and collect my reward if I have one. What I want to talk about is another choice in this. You're gonna obviously, I would suggest you look through every one of these to and see what you really want and save for it. It's not going to happen overnight unless you spend a lot of money. You have to save for a long time. But if I go down to the prestige package right here, this is my favorite thing in this whole game, is the prestige package. If I go over here, I can get this 5 times. If you see, it says exchanges remaining 0 of 5. So I have already gotten my 5 this time, but I get 5 of these every time Carnival comes around. I love this. Now if I hold my mouse over that and highlight it, excuse me, this package is worth 1,000 prestige points. I got 5 of them, so I got 5,000 prestige points. You know, from day to day, most prestige point pouches have like 10, 50, maybe even 100 at the most prestige things, but this one has 1,000. And if you add up all these points, you can get this for like 40 some points, I think. So for 40 some Carnival points, you can get 1,000 prestige, which I think is pretty cool. So every time I play Carnival, I get 5 of them, so I have 5,000 prestige points. And as you know, prestige points are not easy to get. So I would think that everyone should jump on getting 5,000 prestige points for free, right here. Okay, now, I think I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and close this, and that is pretty much all I have to say about Carnival. Oh, one more thing. It's really important. These 2 things. Make sure any event, not just Carnival, any event that you have, Lucky Strike, anything that you can save for. The key to any event is to save as much as you can for maybe a week. Well, a week is not long enough. Maybe you save a month. Maybe you save 2 months. You want to have a lot of cards. Like this, I can't remember. I looked what I wanted for the Lucky Strike thing. Lucky Strike game costs like, I can't remember exactly how many cards. But I think it's like I need like 300 lucky cards. So it's going to take me a while to save it. But if I were to spend these lucky cards now, I'd get like 10,000 wisdom or something stupid. So that's a shame to save these cards for that long and get something dumb. So it's no skin off my back to wait 2 months or whatever and get 300 cards and then use it so I can get something really cool. I think it's some kind of a luck badge that I can get for 300, or maybe I can get 2 of them for 300. I don't remember, but I want to save to be able to get those luck badges, which is pretty cool because you can get some good stuff with luck badges. So I want to save. But there's all kinds of things you can save for. These Wings of Prayer shards, I only have 7. You need 10. I've been saving these Wings of Prayer shards since day 1. So they have some events they had in the past. You can get Wings of Prayer shards. Now they have the Legend of Summel thing. You can also get Wings of Prayer shards in there, which adds to this. And eventually, it could be a month or 2 or 3 from now, I'll have 10 Wings of Prayer, and so all of a sudden I'll have the wings. But I didn't buy them. I just been saving them for a long time. Like I said, this Wings of Prayer, I think this was the very first thing that I saved in my bag, was the Wings of Prayer. It was 7. I also saved the melee badges, and I have 921. Although I think most people probably save those, because there's not a lot of stuff to spend on those. But I don't sell them. That'd be bad. I don't sell them, but I do save them. But if you look around my bag, I save lots and lots of things. And it all adds up. So, let's say, here's my glyph cards. I buy glyph cards. Right now I have 12 glyph cards, and everything has been updated and opened and whatever. I have what I want, so there's like 12 extra. But I'm going to need those. Here's prestige packages. I have 5, but I was just talking about how maybe you get 100 in a regular prestige package. This one gives you 100. If I look down at the details, this one gives 100 points for each one. But that one in the Carnival game gives you 1,000, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, now, like I said, the most important thing to do is to save for every event. Thank you for listening.